Hello, Facebook group. So, I did not do what I wanted to do before I got on here, which was tag all of you, and now it is acting real crazy. So let me, I'm wrong one. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna, hi Brenda, are you watching the Facebook group or on the page? I hope I did that right. Tell me if you're, no, you gotta be on my main page. Man, I messed up. Oh well. Are y'all, okay, so now I gotta redo. Let me double check. I tried to go live in the group first. I'm not sure I did. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I didn't. I'm on my page. Hi pagers. Bear with me. Brenda, I got another story for you about sanitation. Thought of you because you was agreeing with me the last time. So I just got home. Okay, so I'm in the main Facebook. Long as I'm live, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go live in our Facebook group too. I just like to use the video from my main page and my phone to upload to YouTube. Hello, YouTubers, if you're watching. I ain't in that mood yet. I gotta get this off my chest first. So, I didn't want to leave the house today, right, Brenda? If y'all are new here, welcome. My name is Dr. AJ Austin. Hello, Zachary. I am founder of the International Center for Life Coach Training, LLC, where I train Black women of faith to become certified life coaches online in one day. I got some good news for y'all. Y'all might have seen that title, right? Let me go live in our group. Well, I was. Hello, Facebook group. So, I left the house, even though I didn't want to. I had watched a really cute TikTok channel. I forgot her name, but she's this Black woman, young, and her episodes are called Living Single and Dating Myself. And her voice and the aesthetic of her home and her day in the life videos are just so motivating. Like, I've watched a couple and caught myself going shopping because I seen something cute at her house that I wanted in mine. And it's just cool to see another Black woman like living life, the same life I live, enjoying life. And so she motivated me to get up, take a shower, put on some clothes, and leave the house. And that's what I did. I went to the chiropractor. I started off there. I think I pulled something yesterday while I was working out, which is really walking. I don't do too much heavy lifting. But I had been self-caring all day. And so, visiting the chiropractor was a part of my self-care. So I get there. My chiropractic office is all Black. Atlanta, I'm learning. Somebody said yesterday that Atlanta is unapologetically Black. And the side of Atlanta I'm on, which is near the airport, we get a lot of travelers. We get a lot of people that work on this side, live on another side, commute in, whatever. So yeah, my chiropractor office, all Black, all women. So my chiropractor is like, where have you been? Because I've been slacking. I'm paying for it, but I ain't been there. Somebody said Mercury is in retrograde, whatever that means. Got another friend that believes really, really heavy in that. So she believes it means that our bodies ain't right when the planets aren't aligned, I guess. I don't know. We believe in prophetic manifestations, right? By the way, over at promanifestor.com, I have put together my course. I'm sitting here literally with my pages for the course, and I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about what's in it. I've been doing some lives about it because it brings us to this conversation me and Brenda having right now, y'all. If you're watching the replay, hey girl, y'all probably familiar with my stories and my personality. I'm working my energy up to share the good news with y'all. So anyway, I leave the chiropractor, I get adjusted. I was excited because my chiropractor missed me because I've been off a little bit with going. I've been paying, not showing up. I ain't been feeling it. You know, you go when you feel it, like I pulled something. But this is my regular maintenance. So I leave there and I tried this place called Piece of Cake that another coach that lives, one of my coaches that lives right down the street from me, told me about yesterday. Got me 2 pieces of cake to just nibble on over the weekend. I ain't gonna eat it all at once, right? Red velvet and German chocolate, 2 of my favorite. And I like carrot cake too, but these were the 2 I saw that I liked. So I left there and was like, I'm gonna go to Home Depot. I had to pick up some stuff at Home Depot. I leave there and I say, oh, I'm going to go get some soul food. I feel like some collard greens, some macaroni, a little dressing with a little gravy on the side, a little cranberry sauce. You know, like I had my mouth watering to go try this restaurant that my best friend and I eat at when she comes visit on this side of Atlanta. I pull up and it was 5 minutes to closing time. And I know better than to walk in this black restaurant 5 minutes before closing and expect to get served something fresh. So I was like, no. Keep driving. End up at another spot. I'm not going to name it. It is vegan. Y'all know I'm vegan vegetarian. And all is well. I had paced myself because you got to mentally prepare to go to this place. And I paced them to say, y'all ain't in the mood for the hype today. I just want to eat and leave. That's it. And we get to the end. They fix my entree. Because I stepped out of line to go buy, I wanted a little sweet potato pie. It's a story behind that too. Coming to the restaurant, there is a lane in Atlanta that Muslim men stand on. You know, Muslim men are really attractive. So, you know, they get you with the eyes and the suit and the beard and the swag. I like their bean pies. Forget all the other stuff. Do you got some bean pies? They didn't have the bean pies I wanted, but me and the guy ended up exchanging words because he wouldn't take no for an answer. I only want a bean pie, sir. I don't want a paper. I don't want to make a donation. I don't want nothing but a bean pie. He talked the car behind me into sponsoring a paper for me. I said, is it a bean pie? Because again, I don't want your paper. So he said, somebody already bought the paper for you. I said, I want a bean pie. I do not want a paper. That is a complete sentence. Thank you. Have a nice day. And I pull off. It vexed my spirit because I'm like, no is a complete sentence. He kind of tried it with me. By tried it, I mean, he kind of cussed me out in like the holiest of ways. He said, black woman. That's the equivalent of the B word, right? How he said it. And I said, black man. I want a bean pie. I don't really care. I can tell you no, sir. And pull away. Your eyes, because they glistening in the sunlight, ain't gonna change the fact that I want a bean pie. I know I just came from the cake shop, but I want a bean pie. Okay, so we passed that. But it vexed my spirit because I'm like, it bothers me when people approach me with an agenda when it's not a win-win. It's a, I want to tell you what I want you to do for me. I don't care what you want. I don't even want to listen to what you want, but I'm going to convince you to do what I want you to do. So that was already on my mind. Fast forward, end up at the spot getting some food. All was well. I'm standing in line, but because I stepped out of line because this spot had the vegan version of a bean pie, I went to go get me a bean pie. That's what I told the little man that I wanted. This place had it. Because I stepped out of line and the lady behind me, I said, I will be right back. I don't want you to think I'm leaving. Because I knew as soon as I stepped out, she was going to move up and they were going to mess up the orders. And guess what happened? A self-fulfilled prophecy. I stepped out of line. Speaking of prophecy, promanifestor.com. I thought I was putting that in the comments below. Stepped out of line. The girl moves up behind me, despite me telling her, I'm coming right back. They end up giving her my order. My almost $20 order. I'm going to leave that right there. They realized the mistake, and I'm glad they double-checked because I would have took her food home. I didn't want what she got. I wanted what I ordered and paid for, okay? Plus my bean pie, right? Her friend, who was right behind her in line, said, do you want me to go get her? Because her friend by then noticed what happened. And I looked at the little person who fixed my food, and I said, y'all gave her my order, didn't you? And he said, we're trying to see. I knew what was going to happen, and I'm just sitting there watching. I was like, black, unapologetically black people of Atlanta, Georgia, and these restaurants, and my $20 on my vegan entrees that I treat myself to faithfully with my hard-earned money, because we're going to talk about money in a minute. I watched the girl walk out with my order. I watched the man tell the friend to call her back in. The girl gives the man back the order, and the man tries to now hand this order that has left the restaurant, left my sight, in the hands of someone else to me. Now I got on a mask, so you can't see my face, but you can see my eyes. And I felt it in my spirit, cussing him out through my language of my blank, girl, these lashes, these is real. But you saw every one of them when I looked at you like, I wish you would give me my $20 burger that you done gave her, let her walk out this restaurant with, open the bag, look in it, breathe on it around all these other people standing outside the restaurant. No, sir. I will not receive that food. My stomach is so sensitive. I don't pay for Corona. We are still in a panoramic. Good sir. Now I'm already watching you because you got on these gloves, and y'all know how, Brenda, you know how I am about them gloves. You touching a register, buttons all on the screen. You touching food. You preparing food. Now you touching this Corona bag that's done left the restaurant, came back in. You think you finna hand it to me. I was done. I was done, y'all. I looked at him and I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna take that. So I watched them put together another little package for me, and I left, and I said that was my cue to start ordering my food through meal prep now. So all this HelloFresh and all the people that delivered it to your house that is sealed and packed, I'm going to have to start preparing my own food, which I already do. I've been cooking faithfully. I used to not cook, but my kitchen is so cute. I'm motivated. Trader Joe's is so close. I'm motivated. Sam's Club is right down the street. I get in here and I cook. I'm going to have to upgrade recipes and now restaurants for sanitary workers, prepackaged food that ain't gonna kill me. And they still want you to pay $20 here and there to get Corona. I was upset about that, Brenda. How many of you guys would have been upset about dirty gloves and a Corona burger being handled and handed to you? Oof. Got that off my chest. Still got to seek God about it. But it was also his way of giving me some insight to my next level. Because one thing my coach and I discovered yesterday in a 4-hour conversation about everything business is that over the last 18 months of me training almost, we have 52 at the time of this recording, women who have trained with me online. Look at Brenda. Brenda, I give you permission to express everything that you just, I wish I could say, but I can't. It's right here in my chest. Like, girl, you can say it out loud because you ain't being recorded. You could type it in the I'm over it. I'm so over it. I won't even share with my friend who I usually always tell her my restaurant drama, and she swear it's because I don't go far enough to the bougie side of Atlanta to get my food. No, nasty is nasty, and it's everywhere. But anyway, here we are. I'm telling y'all my drama on Facebook Live. So I had a 4-hour conversation with my coach yesterday, and I still call him my coach. He calls himself my mentor. We worked together for a full year. And since I started working with him, right before I worked with him, I had just brought my brand online to train and certify Black women of faith to become life coaches. I still do it. Through our conversations, our longest conversation has been 12 hours, y'all. And it was me, he was helping me put together my presentation for you guys to show how I do what I do when I certify coaches. So for those coaches who are watching, who have trained with me, or maybe you're in one of our trainings, maybe you're going to join me with Prophetic Manifestations. By the way, it's over at www.promanifester.com. It's a course that I put together. I'm still getting some downloads for. God is still revealing some stuff to me. But it is taking place in just a few short days where I'm going in and sharing with you guys what I do to bring about where I am in the positive, and how I can still just keep the peace in my spirit regardless of what's going on, and seek God about what's next for me. And he allows it to make itself manifest, or he brings it to fruition, which means the fruit of. So during our 4-hour conversation, we started talking figures, numbers, money, dollar signs. And I brought my company, the International Center for Life Coach Training, LLC, online back in January of 2020. And since January 2020, which is now 18 months ago, my company, it's in the title, has brought in $72,592.63. About 65 of that came with me hiring him as my coach mentor. And I cried on the phone with him yesterday. And he's like, I know you ain't crying. And I said, you could not have told me this little black girl from low income, food stamps, country, Douglasville, Georgia, housing projects, Medicaid, every type of government assistance you could think of, faced all the odds stacked against me all my life. So much so that my friend's mom, one of my friend's mom looked at me and was like, I don't know how you do it. And this was me in high school, y'all. So it's always looked hard. A lot of the stuff I'm just discovering was traumatic. A lot of it was very toxic. Mercy, what you doing on here? Hey girl, I'm trying to get where you at, sis. And so hearing those figures, I got choked up. My coach kind of helped bring me down. He's so good at that. He has learned me and how to help me like breathe. And I was like, Coach, like I would have never thought that 18 months after saying yes to what God was showing me to do, which was to certify women online, Black women of faith specifically, using what I knew about the life coaching industry, would bring in this amount of money. The beautiful part is he is having an event right down the street from my house next weekend. Some of you guys will be there with me. It is live here in Atlanta. He had to coach me out of the house because, again, I'm over humans, certain humans, okay? And I wanted to stay in the house and like, can I just do the virtual? But I have to be there in order to be a living testimony to what was possible when 2 years ago in this same hotel. Now, let me tell y'all this backstory. If you're a woman of faith, you're going to get it right away. If you don't get it, don't worry about it. In 2018, I lost my home. I ultimately walked away from a $20,000 debt that I couldn't pay. So I gave them the house back. If you know my story, it was my mom's former home. It was a home she had built from the ground up. I stayed at it for 10 years, mortgage free. I could not afford it. At that time, I was not making the type of money in my business that I currently make. So I walked away. I gave it back. I ended up renting a commercial office space. And I literally lived in that office space for 9 months in 2019. I paid $200 a month. They caught on that I was there a whole lot and they started asking questions. They literally asked me, are you living here? And I was like, gotta go. So I reached out to a friend whose last name is Harden. Now this is relevant. They said yes. I told them what was happening. They said yes. I moved in. This friend has been so supportive of my business, has seen me in action, training live here in Atlanta, and spoke life into the business that I have today. As a matter of fact, they were the reason that I said, yeah, I can do this. But over time, the relationship started to shift, and I didn't see God doing it in the moment, but things went south very, very quickly. So much so that friend ended up kicking me out of the house. I literally slept in my car for 3 nights right down the street from their home until I found a room to rent. Now, if you have followed me over the last year and a half, I have gone to 3 different housing situationships. So when you watch any of my old videos and I'm recording in a closet, I was renting a room in a luxury apartment of a family that I didn't know. They didn't know me. They just liked me. But I stayed there for 9 months until I couldn't stay anymore. It was time for me to go. God blessed me with my own place, which was super ghetto. And then I moved here. Okay, so we're here, right? Now, 2019, this is when I met this coach who helped me get to this $72,592.63. The coach hosted his event. It's called Speaking for Newbies. It's coming up this weekend. And I remember this was November 2019. I was living with the friend whose last name was Harden, and I pulled on the street of the hotel of my coach's event. And I looked up and the street sign literally said Harden Avenue. And I remember taking a picture and sending it to the friend because we were speaking then. We were cool. I was still living in their home. I was like, look at the name of this street. This man is hosting an event at a hotel that's on a street with your same last name, and I'm staying in your guest bedroom. That's a whole nother story, y'all. So it was really, really cool. But look how God just brought it all around. So me and the friend, as I mentioned, things did not work out. They started treating me super bad, so abusive, toxic, and I left. But here we are 2 years later. $72,592.63 later, back on Hardin Avenue, about to give a testimonial about how this coach who came into my life at God's perfect timing helped me get here. I don't know if y'all feel chills, but I know I feel it in my spirit, and I know I have to share this with people who are of faith, because you can only see what God has been able to do in my life if you just really listen to what I just shared with you. So little stuff like the sanitation and all that, I try not to let it get to me, because I have to look at how far God has brought me, even now showing up on Facebook Lives when I don't want to. But I see y'all's faces. Hello, Coach Corinthia, Denise Dixie, Coach Brenda, who is faithful here, Coach Helen, who we're lifting up in prayer, Coach Dina, who we're lifting up in prayer. You guys are the inspiration. I talked to a new team today. It's a team of 4 that will be helping behind the scenes of everything that y'all need to help take my business to the next level. And one new teammate and we were supposed to be 20 minutes, but y'all know if we've ever talked on the phone, we always go over, right? So when she heard what I do for you guys and with you guys, she was like, oh my gosh, I know so-and-so. And she's listing names and making recommendations. And she still did not even know the full vision and the manifestation of what God is getting ready to do. She just knew she wanted to be a part of it. So when I see you guys show up, when I see what he's been able to do in my life, regardless of what I've been through, regardless of what I see on a day-to-day basis, yeah, I cried when we did my numbers. And I realized I might work maybe 10 hours a week, but to see $72,592.63 from a girl who lost her house. By the way, that house was forgiven. The bank, literally, the mortgage company sent me a letter in my office mailbox out of the blue. And it wasn't random. It was a prophetic manifestation. I'm going to break down what that is and what that looks like in my new course, Prophetic Manifestation, which is over at promanifestor.com. If you want to come join us, it's only $97 right now. It will go up because God keep revealing these things that he has told me I have to share with his people. And it's going to cost you to get in, because it sure enough costed me. But I just remember checking the mail one day, and the mortgage company sent a letter to this office space that I was living in. They said, "Dear Miss Austin, we thank you for the last 10 years of being your mortgage company." Now, y'all ain't paid these people nothing in 10 years. They kept giving me what's called a moratorium, putting it on the back end. That's how we got to the $20,000 debt that I couldn't pay. And I just went on and counted it all joy for the 10 years and a part of my mother's legacy, and realizing this was her dream, not mine. I wanted to be a homeowner, but Jesus. So I walked away. But because of whatever reason God saw fit, they sent me a letter and they said, "You owed us $20,000, and overall it would have been over $200,000, but we forgive you. We forgive your debt. You owe us nothing. Your balance is zero. Thank you for allowing us to be your mortgage company for 10 years. What do you do with that, y'all? I still have that letter. We're going to talk more about that letter and what it meant, what it still means to have a house, $200,000 totally forgiven because of the grace of God, because of what I asked God for. I'm going to tell you, y'all know how people ask Sierra the prayer that she prayed to get Russell, her husband. There's a specific thing I asked God for, and he did it. I did not know this was a part of the deal, but he did it. That's called a prophetic manifestation. And I'm diving into some of those tips over at promanifestor.com because it's some deep stuff that I have experienced just over the last 18 months, y'all. This is new. I told my neighbor's old neighbor yesterday, we were walking, and I was like, girl, this new money. You know, like I got to be strategic and wise with this thing, but I'm seeing what God is able to do when I get clear on what he's telling me to do. And many of you are here because he led you here. Y'all tell me, I don't know how we became Facebook friends. One day I just saw your video and I jumped on and you called my name, or I just happened to watch a replay on YouTube or on your Facebook page and I love your energy. There's a reason we're here. God is speaking something to your spirit right now, and he is releasing me to call you forth. Because little, this is little. $72,592.63 is little. $200,000 of a house mortgage forgiven, that's little. $500,000 of my mother's medical debt was forgiven because of prophetic manifestations. That's little. Now notice we're already at over $1 million now. $100,000 in scholarships that I was awarded to go to school and get this degree that brings me here with you guys today. That's little to God. The Bible says he's able to do exceedingly abundantly and above all that I could ever ask or think, all that you could ever ask or think. This is little to God. He's just smiling like she has no idea. But because I took time to spell out what I specifically needed God to do, and I knew how to ask, the scripture that talks about you have not because you ask not, it also says that when you ask amiss. So either we're asking for the wrong things or for the wrong reasons, but we're asking in the wrong way. Prophetic Manifestations, which is over at promanifestor.com, is going to teach you how to invite God in. And it's not what you may even be used to hearing in the traditional church, because my history, which is philosophical, that's why I have an honorary PhD degree. I'm a philosopher. I sit and I think and analyze and test theories and research and do focus groups and talk to people and study and pray, and I'm led down specific paths, and I bring that knowledge to you because there is a certain way outside of what's even being taught in the four walls of the church that you have to go to God for yourself. And it's such a deep spiritual process that's not being taught in the way I'm bringing it to you. So promanifestor.com is going to be where I haven't even posted everything on the site yet of what I'm teaching. Because as I mentioned, God keeps revealing things to me. I've been working with another coach over the last month and a half to bring this course to you. And she's like, when is the course gonna be done? She's so sweet. She's an Australian lady. And so all of this good is coming to you. I'm sharing some insider secrets to how I got to the $72,592.63. Because what I told my coach yesterday was, I'm getting tired of hearing these $1 million coaches that's like, yeah, I was homeless too. I lived in the office too. And then I woke up and I was rich. Now, you kind of skipped a few steps. I'm sharing my steps with y'all, okay? And I am going to share my stories. Y'all think I show up on here and tell everything, child? I'm going to tell it so you ain't got to worry about hearing it nowhere else. This is my story. I deserve to tell it, and you deserve the transparency that y'all say y'all love that I have as your coach, as your trainer. So if you're going to join me, I extend the invitation and I welcome you over to promanifestor.com. This is a course like none other that I have taught because it's dealing with the spirit realm and not what I see out there. It's not about the universe or tarot cards or psychic readings or crystals. If you do that, that is your business. Okay, a former pastor, before he passed away, he used to say, I ain't got a heaven or hell to put you in. I don't care what you doing. That's between you and Jesus. But that's for me and my household. That's for the black women of faith that I serve. We are Christian. We are saved. We believe in the Holy Spirit. These are women of God. And so when I show up to share something like this, just know that this is a way into the deeper chambers, the inner chambers, an intimate space with me that not a lot of people have access to because everybody can't handle it. Everybody's not willing to sacrifice. Yes, Brenda, you already are in. You know that. She's like, is this the course we talked about? Yes. And it's becoming more and more of a revelation to me, even since our conversation, Brenda, the other day, because God has shown me how I have invited him in to make these types of prophetic manifestations in my life. And it's not just selling you a hope and a dream. It's not just selling you something I heard. This is despite what I've been through, in spite of what I've been through. This is me coming out of the fire and not smelling like smoke. This is me seeing what's on the market today that's being taught from people who don't have your same walk, your same story, your same struggle, your same skin tone. But we gonna, that's for me and Jesus. We talking scripture and word and healing and manifestation in a way that your what do you call it? Inciting. You're inviting it in. You're igniting it. It's another word I'm looking for, but you are the beginning of this. And a lot of new coaches, especially, we don't know this because we have not had that chance to sit with our visions and our dreams. So like Coach Brenda, Coach Corinthia, any of my coaches can tell you, if we've talked on the phone, I've asked you, what's your vision for becoming a coach? Why now? What is God showing you? Where do you see yourself in 30, 60, 90 days? My new team member just did that on the spot to me. I was like, oh. So we went through my 30, 60, 90 day goals. By the way, she is on board with us planning a retreat for 2022. So y'all get ready, get ready, get ready. I had to tell her most of y'all are here in Atlanta with us. And so I'm like, I got my coaches, you know, they got future coaches because y'all sending people to the training. So we got some stuff that's coming up. So the same questions I ask y'all, I got a team of wise counsel now that's on board with helping us to get to our next level. So in the Pro Manifestor course that's over at promanifestor.com, we're going to share, you know, the real meaning behind what's called prophetic manifestation. I'm going to break that down and show you where it came from with me and how God is even aligning other people with that same drive to get this type of philosophy and teaching out there. And it's been out there. Some of us just didn't know where to look. But God has definitely led me through really strange paths that I would not have expected. So yes, I have trained with the psychic healers, the light workers, the energy readers, the Reiki practitioners. And I don't do none of that, y'all. I was just like, just tell me what I'm here to learn. I can't be converted from Christianity. It's pretty much impossible because I was born into it. You know, I told y'all the other day my mama was a gospel gangster. I picked up where she left off. And I live in a certain expectation of God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. And now I incorporate that with my teachings as a Black woman of faith to other Black women of faith. That's you. That is you, sis. So who is joining me? I know Coach Brenda's on board. Who was that the other day that was on live? I think her name was Tina. She asked about coming to join us. But again, the course is only $97. When I mapped it out with my course coach, it was only 90 minutes. I'm trying to still keep the course to 90 minutes, but it's so much good, juicy stuff I want to share with you guys. A lot of it you may have heard of, you may already know, but maybe you don't know your power in it and how to practice it to speak to God because we are his creations. Hello, Coach Vanzant. How are you? I was just thinking about you the other day. So we are going to dive into the introduction of what prophetic manifestation is, what it looks like, how to invite it in, how to incite it, ignite it in you, and making sure that it's keeping you in line, especially as a new coach. I talk a lot about Thomas J. Leonard, who is the founder of Life Coaching. He passed away, same age as my mom, 47 years old. And his legacy in the life coaching industry is so rich. He wrote books that gave us foundational principles for how to be a successful coach. And that goes all the way into self-care. And this is a part of the self-care practices of Thomas J. Leonard. One of my coaches who certified me and I partnered with for 4 years training coaches, he trained under the works of Thomas J. Leonard. And he's in his 70s now, so he's been in it since the 80s, early 90s. And so again, my trainings are the modern day approach to what these guys left us as a guide for what to do. So all of it's based in self-care. It's based in knowing your power. I don't know if y'all have heard my story of meeting my higher self, and I'll share some of it real quick. I was sharing it with my neighbor because she was just reawakened, my higher self, right? So y'all know how Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, and she's like, that's basically who she calls on when she get on stage and she give it to y'all, okay? Many of us have an inner Sasha Fierce. I haven't named mine right now. She's just higher self. And I didn't know she was in there until recently when I went to top of 2020, right before pandemic. I went to get a brain scan, an MRI, where they put you in what I'm calling an open casket with that big old hole. If you ever had an MRI, you know what I'm talking about. And I panicked. I have migraines, and my doctor really wanted me to get a brain scan to see, to verify that it was migraines and, have a documented process of the next steps we were going to take. And I knew I needed to get it. The technicians there knew that I needed it, but I freaked out when I saw this open casket I had to get in and try to breathe, y'all. And then they put this football helmet thing over your face. And I was like, wait, what? I was not prepared, but I had already literally drank the Kool-Aid, the stuff they give you so they can read inside your body. And I'm like, y'all didn't tell. So I'm in these people's office, had paid the money. This was like a $300 test, y'all. Had paid the money, and I'm in there breaking down, crying. And I should have knew something was up, because in the doctor's office, it's in my hometown, and one of my mom's friends and a friend of the family worked there. So I had to go through my check-in process with her. Her name is Jennifer. And she's like, when you get there, she said, just close your eyes and pray. I didn't know what Jennifer meant. And me and Jennifer play a lot. So I thought it was a joke and we laughing. Girl, Jennifer did not prepare me. I didn't even speak to her when I left. That's how mad I was at her. I was like, you didn't tell me. So I get there, couldn't breathe, crying. And the technician did not. I'm so glad she kind of stood her ground. And she's like, well, if you would like, Miss Austin, we can reschedule you to come back. She didn't say we can cancel it. You don't have to do it. She was like, basically, we got to get this done. You want to do it today or you want to come back later? And all I heard was, they going to do it regardless. So I do not know in that moment what happened, y'all. I told them just to give me a minute, because they were trying to offer alternatives. You know, you want a towel over your face? I was like, no, I'm already in an open casket. You put a towel over my face. I'm in there like, I can't breathe. No, just give me a minute. I don't know what happened, but I don't know if the person left the room or stepped out, the technician. I just remember closing my eyes and praying like Jennifer had told me to do. And for 45 minutes, I could hear what was going on. They give you headphones to listen to music. They're like, what's your favorite, Spotify playlist, or what type of music do you want? And they, played the music that I usually listen to. I do a lot of classical music and ADHD focused music. The music had nothing to do with what came over me, not calmed me. It shut me down, and my inner Sasha Fierce stepped up to where I could close my eyes and pray. And for 45 minutes, y'all, I could hear what was going on around me. I could hear the music. I could feel them slide me into the open casket. I did not open my eyes. I did not cough. And y'all know I cough. I cough on camera. I cough every night when I lay on my back. I have to sleep on my side. I didn't cough. My breathing slowed. My heart rate slowed. I could hear the machine, because the machine kind of moves around you. And me and higher self had such a deep come to Jesus moment, to where like something and someone was speaking to my spirit, that it just got me in line. I couldn't talk, but there was some brain activity. I was like, these people probably were like, wait a minute. She just went from freaking out to not moving. They kept checking, are you okay? Are you alive? Are you breathing? Is this the same lady that just was like about to walk out our... When I left their office, I knew from that moment on. That's why I didn't speak to Jennifer, because me and higher self, we were a totally new person. It didn't scare me, but it introduced me to what I'm able to do when I give myself permission to do it. When I say there's no other option, I got to get this done, and higher self just takes over. I met her recently. Again, y'all, she didn't go to sleep or lie dormant. She's always been there, and I love her. I met her. I get it, Beyonce. I get it. Hired a coach about a month ago that talks about these things like manifestation and healing and trauma. And she mentioned higher self, and higher self woke up again. So much so that I have been putting off a list of things to do. I got a team of PR agents, y'all. They were waiting on me to do a 30-second video that I was like, no. Because I got to be cute. My hair got to be done. Me and higher self got our perm. We got our cut. We got our makeup. We got our light right. Our camera situated. I was up to 3 a.m. the second time I met higher self. This was recently. We got our videos done. Not just one. It was a couple people waiting on a video from me. We got those done. I actually did a Facebook Live that same night. Higher self ain't no joke. And I know you got a higher self in you too. You haven't met her, and prophetic manifestation is going to start tiptoeing to introduce you. Now, you don't have to be scared. It's not weird or woo-woo, because again, I believe we all have someone within us that knows what we're capable of. We may talk ourselves out of it. We may push it away and procrastinate. We may say, oh, I'm stuck. I'm struggling. I don't know where to start. I'm waiting on God. I'm praying about it. I don't know. I need some me time. All of that is a part of you awakening higher self. Now, again, I got to come up with a name for mine because I got a couple different versions of higher self, okay? And there's also an older version. I call her Old Lady AJ. Old Lady AJ on Wednesdays waits on the paper to be delivered to the neighborhood, to our front door. We get it and collect the coupons, and we cut them out and we put them in our purse, and then we go up to CVS and use our coupons and our Care Plus rewards bonus points, and we save $20 off of $50. Old Lady AJ is the bomb. She keeps the refrigerator stocked and the house clean and keeps us fed and taking care of ourselves. All of that is a part of higher self. Making sure that you can pick up where your mama left off. You can pick up where, what you learned in church, you're adding to it. You could pick up where even the industry of coaching has got you to, and you and your version of your higher self are taking it to the next level. That's called prophetic manifestation. Most of this is new to me, and that's why it's great that I'm offering courses like the one over at promanifestor.com, because I'm sharing the journey with you as I go through it. You don't want me to get to the point where I'm like, girl, I can't even remember what happened. No, we're going to go step by step, and I'm going to tell you what I currently do to introduce the thoughts of God, the things of God on this side of heaven. Okay, Courtney? Yes, girl, on this side of heaven. So you don't have to wait till you pass. You don't have to wait for the ancestors to speak. They are part of higher self. I ain't even gonna get into it because I will cry, y'all, talking about the ancestry work. But we all have that part of us that know that we're called for more. We just have to know how to set the atmosphere to invite it in. And if you feel scared around it, it's because it's new to you as well, and it's exciting, but it's not demonic scary. It's not like, oh my God, what is this witchcraft scary? I don't know nothing about that. This is all God. And I believe that this is the part of us that he waits on us to allow in. Because for Jesus to come to this earth, do the work, and say, well, greater than these things shall ye also do. How can we get to greater if we don't know that greater strength that lies within? So prophetic manifestations, of course, is going to get you to that point, introducing you to your higher self. Y'all ready? I'm so excited about this course. Hello, Dolores. How are you? And so put your questions in. What do you have questions about anything I've shared? I know I mentioned my recent celebration that just left me speechless yesterday of reaching $72,592.63 over the last 18 months, going from, homeless in 2019, getting kicked out of someone's house, being threatened not to do the work that I do today, being threatened with lawsuits and attacks on my character for people that just did not think I could be here. That's why I cried. What about you? Can you imagine an extra $72,592.63 in your bank account from working 10 hours a week, doing what God has called you to do, and knowing that by this time next year, it's going to be double? Like, there's no doubt. Greater than these things. He is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above. Oh my goodness. It's just such a great feeling. I'm happy to have you guys on board. Vendolin says, sound wonderful. Vendolin, thank you for being part of the journey. Because our course of y'all getting certified, y'all saying yes, y'all's story and showing up has inspired our current and future Black life coaches that come train and get certified with me. And it's just a testament to where God has taken us all. And I'm so excited we're here together. Y'all ready? I want to know who's joining me. It's a perfect time to come on board because, yes, I'm going to double the price of this course very, very soon. So don't let me get to the end of it just before lunch and be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, no, that price I quoted a couple weeks ago. Yeah, no, that's no good. Thank you, Coach Lillian. She's like, congratulations. It's been a long time coming. When I met you in 2016, Coach Lillian, I want to, yeah, you weren't in the first class, but you were in one of the earlier live training classes here in Atlanta. And I may have made like $100, maybe $200 from that class. So to go from that to like, oh, that's what I gotta do. I gotta go back and do my old numbers, because what I made in the last 18 months is like triple what I made in like all 3 or 4 years of partnering with the prior training company. I bring in all the profits now, and I appreciate God for that, okay? Thank you for the love, Coach Corinthia. I see you. Y'all got any questions, comments, anything you want to chat about anything that I've shared? I've been on here. My lives are like switching vibes on me. I usually get on and just teach, but I have learned so much on this journey. I have to share my stories and my testimonies with you guys, and just know that it's a process. And if you choose to come join us, I'm happy to share on this journey with you. It's about sharing, you know, where I am, what's going on, what that has to do with you. Because it's so much that is waiting for you in your next level, especially as a coach. Y'all don't understand the ministry of coaching. Some of you do. Some of y'all getting it slowly but surely. But it's so much more in store for those of you who say yes to what's next for you and what God is calling you to do as a coach. Are there any questions? Any comments? Anything you want to share? If not, I'm going to give you back the rest of your day. I had to bring myself to a place where I could actually eat the food that I paid for. I just couldn't. But I'm going to go eat my bean pie and watch the rest of the show called Billions. I've been watching them. They have a coach on there that my chiropractor talked about. The Lord says I have to go back and listen. Yes, this is a replay worth listening to. If you join me in Prophetic Manifestations tonight, there are 2 other events I'm going to give you free access to. And so join me, find out what they are. They are bonuses that are worth hundreds of dollars that you definitely want access to. And so Coach Andrea says, so do I. So do I. Let me think. So do I. So do you. Watch Billions. So do I what, Coach Andrea? I didn't even see you come in. Hey, girl. And coaches, those of you who are on here with me that are certified with me, let's keep your fellow legacies uplifted. We have, oh, you got to go back and watch replay. Okay, cool. Got you. We have some ladies of legacy who are in the midst of training. They are also dealing with some family things and some financial things and some health things. So keep your fellow ladies of legacy lifted up in prayer. I have had several inbox conversations over the last couple of days of people that's just yet holding on. And so you find your strength sometimes in your weakest moments, as I just shared with you. So, you know, it's not even a surprise to get a voicemail from me like, God got this. Trust me, God got this. So make sure you're lifting up your ladies of legacy in prayer, coaches, because we are building this thing together and we're in it to support each other. And so some of you guys will join me in the events we have here in Atlanta. There are 2 virtual events. There's also Prophetic Manifestations, the course. And so you get the 2 bonus events that are this weekend, that are over the next week. So if you buy Prophetic Manifestations, that's the pre-registration. It's over at promanifestor.com. It's only $97, but it comes with tickets to 2 free events, 1 virtual, 1 live here in Atlanta with me. They all taking place over the next week. Hopefully that makes sense. Woosah. That's all I got. If y'all don't have questions. Oh, good. I thought I was on here longer. Good. I'm doing good. Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Thank you for your prayers and prayer hands and emojis. Just take a minute to stop and say a prayer for your fellow ladies of legacy. Scrolling comments. I accidentally went live on my mini iPhone on my page. Hope the video comes out good. I'm also live in our Facebook group. So Facebook groupers, if you, if it looks a little different, that's why. I switched it on accident and didn't even know that's what I was doing. I thought I was about to tag all our groupers and I did it wrong. So let me see. Oh, okay. It's got a little bit of razzle dazzle in the group. Okay. Any other questions? Any other comments? Any other things you want to chat about? Make sure I ain't missing nobody. All right, y'all, that's all I have. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for hanging out and listening to my story. Y'all know I'm full of like experiences and adventures here in Atlanta. Adventures with AJ. But I share what I learn. I also share resources that keep me going to my next level. And if you're ready for yours, head over to www.promanifestor.com. PROMANIFESTOR.com. And I will see you soon. Remember, there's someone somewhere. They are waiting on you, prophetic manifester, to walk in your destiny so they can walk into theirs. Because it's when you let your own light shine, you give others permission to do the same. And when you impact one life as a prophetic manifester, you impact generations. Head over to promanifestor.com and I'll see y'all soon. Have a phenomenal rest of your night. God bless. Bye, manifestors.